San Francisco public works officials say they were very lucky that no one was parked or walking in this area when this mudslide happened. The pilot is okay, and he was actually able to walk away from this scene without a scratch after he was able to land his plane safely. They were able to get this fire under control in just about an hour, but they say when they showed up here on scene, one of these buildings right here behind me was fully engulfed, and it's the gusty winds that we are still experiencing now up here on the Altamont Pass, and some steep terrain that made things difficult for fire crews. And this car you see right here behind me is the #1 example of what not to do during a storm. Inside of one of these trucks is filled with non-perishable goods that were set aside for Wednesday's meal deliveries that they can't get to without a battery. She was discovered with a rope around her neck, showing physical signs of a struggle after being reported missing the night before. We have been trying repeatedly to get a hold of Oakland Mayor Shang Tao for 3 days, first for the recall and then for the FBI raid of her home. But the house might not be what people are paying for. Instead, it's the potential of a 7,800 square foot lot.
I don't want to deal with this.
Siobhan Harp is putting on a borrowed pair of waders so she can see for herself what's left of her trailer after she evacuated around midnight.
I'm trying to wade through the carnage here and see how high the water is on the other side. We'll see what happens here in a minute.
This after Fife Creek breached its banks overnight.
Well, this is like the 15th time this has happened.
Flooding the small community north of downtown Guerneville, leaving a trail of damage across the city and shutting down schools on Monday.
It's disheartening. I probably am homeless, so I just don't have words. It's scary and it's sad. And it happens just so fast. It's like no warning. Like there was no water on the ground from what I understood, and like 20 minutes later, all the water was on the ground.
The Sonoma County Fire District went door to door around 1 a.m., checking on more than 100 people. They say most stayed and sheltered in place.
In less than 20 minutes, 30 to 20 minutes, it flooded. Because an hour and a half ago, I looked out my door, and it wasn't even, my yard wasn't even that flooded. Now it's up to my second step.
And while Harp's trailer appeared to be okay after she waded through the water, her cats are still missing, and the cleanup is only in its early stages.
It's a mess. There's propane tanks, wood, garbage, probably little sewage that might have spilled out with that. I would be concerned about the electrical. Making a connection.
While schools here in Guerneville are closed for the rest of the day, fire officials tell us the danger is not over yet. Being out on the street had a different meaning just a few months ago for 61-year-old Timothy Stewart.
Smoking crack cocaine, like I said, living on the streets, not taking showers. Being 61 years old, life is getting shorter, and I realize that. And I didn't want to die out there on those streets.
But life took a turn 4 months ago when he ordered a cab without a dollar to his name.
I got in the cab, and I went to close the door, and I heard the voice say, "Talk to the man, talk to him." And I started crying. I said, "Sir, I don't have any money." And he said, "Well, where are you going?" And I said, "I'm on drugs, and I need help. I'm trying to get to detox at Harbor Life." He said, "Close the door, I'll take you."
The Salvation Army Harbor Light Center serves as a 6-month treatment program for drugs and alcohol. Lieutenant Andrea Finch says it exemplifies the Salvation Army's mission.
Everything we do is motivated by the love of God to meet human needs for suffering humanity without discrimination. And so everything that we do with our social services, our emergency disaster, and our treatment programs all stems from that.
And for Stewart, the program has made all the difference.
It was nothing but love. Absolutely. It was, and I felt it instantly. Yeah. I felt it instantly. I felt it, and I still feel it until this moment. The opportunities that they're giving me a second chance at a first-class life, and I'm going to take advantage of it.
He's just really grabbed hold of joy, because really joy and hope is going to be the key to success.
Now sober, just blocks away from where he used to buy drugs from.
He's ringing a bell for the Red Kettle campaign in San Francisco's famous Union Square, collecting change to help other people fighting through similar struggles.
It's not about me. And the people before me went out and rung the bell. And due to me being here, I get to reap the benefits of them standing out there. So the people who come behind me, I want them to reap the benefits.
In a few months, he'll move on to the next program at the Salvation Army. And eventually, he has high hopes to serve as a drug resource counselor.
When you hear those bells, just know that your change is making a change in someone's life.
In San Francisco, Lena Howland, ABC 7 News.
Raise your hand if your stomach is growling.
With heaping trays of pasta, cheese-covered garlic bread, and a seemingly endless bowl of salad, Elio Durzo is doing buffet lunch at his restaurant a little differently.
This is a house, it's not a restaurant. Everybody know each other.
Durzo has owned Saporia Italiano on the peninsula for 24 years. About 3 weeks ago, he slashed prices of their lunch buffet to just $9.99 from noon to 2 every weekday. It would normally be $32.
No advertised. The first day there were 60 people.
He came up with the idea after having a regular group of seniors coming in for lunch to play poker with him during the pandemic. A group he loved bonding and sharing stories with so much, he didn't charge full price.
I just charge a little bit, just my cost of the food. And then I say, why I don't do for everybody? So just for a couple hours.
This comes 7 months after San Mateo County declared loneliness a public health crisis and pledged to promote social connection in local communities. In a county survey last year, 45% of residents said they feel alone.
This is all about connectivity. Social isolation is real.
Supervisor David Canepa says this plan is the Italian way.
We forget about our older Americans. We forget about our seniors. We're also focused on our families and careers. But this owner has said you are not forgotten and you do have a place.
Where can you go for camaraderie, good Italian food, and Italian atmosphere?
It's something that hits close to home for 82-year-old Judy Jingarian. She lost her husband last year.
I think it's amazing. I mean, where can you go? You can't even get a hamburger for $9.95. And when the ladies heard about it, they thought, fantastic, it'll bring more seniors out.
As for how long these prices may stay on the menu,
I'm going to continue until I can.
in Burlingame, Lena Howland, ABC 7 News.